Hello and good morning to all of you. I hope all of you are doing well and all of you are in good health. In today's class, we will discuss some of the Indian cybersecurity regulating bodies. To start with, we have Indian Computer Emergency Response Team, CERTIN. The Indian Computer Emergency Response Team is operational since January of 2004. Its constituency is the Indian cyber community. It is the national nodal agency for responding to computer security incidences as and when they occur. In the Information Technology Amendment Act of 2008, it has been designated to serve as the national agency to perform the following functions in the area of cybersecurity: keep track of all non critical infrastructures, collect, analyze, and disseminate information on cybersecurity, forecast and alert cybersecurity incidences, plan emergency measures for handling cybersecurity incidences, coordination of cybersecurity response activities, and issue guidelines, advisories, vulnerability notes, and white papers related to information security practices, procedures, prevention, response, and reporting of cyber incidences. Now let us talk about National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center, NCIIPC. The National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center, NCIIPC, was established on January 16 of 2014 by Indian government under Section 70A of the Information Technology Act 2000. The Indian Parliament divides cybersecurity into two segments: National Critical Infrastructure, which CERTIN is responsible for, and Critical Information Infrastructure, which NCIIPC is responsible for. Critical information infrastructure is defined by the Indian Parliament as facilities, systems, or functions whose incapacity or destruction would cause a debilitating impact on national security, governance, economy, and social well being of a nation. NCIIPC is required to monitor and report national level threats to critical information infrastructure, which includes power and energy, banking, finance services and insurance, telecommunication and information, transportation, government, and strategic and public enterprises. Now let us talk about Cyber Regulations Appellant Tribunal, CRAT. Under Section 62 of Information Technology Act 2000, the central government of India created the Cyber Regulations Appellant Tribunal, CRAT, as a chief governing body and authority for fact-finding, receiving cyber evidences, and examining witnesses. According to the Civil Code and Code of Civil Procedure 1908, it has the power to receive evidences on affidavits, ensure that all electronic and cyber evidences and records are presented for court, enforce, summon, and issue regular commissions for examining witnesses, documents, and people under oath, review final decisions of the court to resolve incidences and cases, and approve, dismiss, or declare the defaulter's application. Now let us talk about Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI. Established in the year 1988, SEBI is the regulatory body for securities and commodity markets in India under Ministry of Finance. Its prime objectives are to protect the interest of Indian investors in the securities market, to promote the development and hassle-free functioning of the securities market, to regulate the business operations of the securities market, to serve as a platform for portfolio managers, bankers, stockbrokers, investment advisors, merchant bankers, registrars, share transfer agents, and others, to regulate the task entrusted to depositors, credit rating agencies, custodians of securities, foreign portfolio investors, and other participants, to educate investors about securities market and their intermediaries, to prohibit fraudulent and unfair trade practices within the security markets and opportunities related to it. Now let us talk about Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority, IRDAI. The insurance sector of India is regulated by IRDAI, which issues information security guidelines for insurers and addresses the importance of maintaining data integrity and confidentiality. With this new information and cybersecurity for insurance guidelines, the IRDAI mandates insurance companies to have a Chief Information Security Officer. It mandates the companies to put together an Information Security Committee, to create plans for managing cyber crisis, to create and implement cybersecurity assurance programs, to implement proper methods for protecting data, and to follow risk identification and risk mitigation processes. To monitor companies' takeovers and acquisitions of shares, and to keep the securities market efficient and up to date through proper research and developmental tactics. Now let us discuss the roles and responsibilities of Telecom Regulatory Authority of India (TRAI) and Department of Telecommunications (DoT). The TRAI along with DoT has tightened regulations for user data privacy and how it's being used. TRAI is a regulatory body and DoT is a separate executive department of the Ministry of Communications in the Indian Parliament. Although TRAI has been granted more regulatory powers, both work together to govern and regulate telephone operators and service providers. TRAI addresses data protection with the following objectives: define and understand the scope of personal data, ownership and control of data, namely the data of the users of telecom service providers. Understand and identify the rights and responsibilities of data controllers. Assess and identify the efficiency of how data is protected and which data protection measures are currently in place in the telecommunications sector. Identify and address critical issues regarding data protection and collect and control users' data of traffic information service providers' services. In addition, the Department of Telecommunications has collaborated with the Indian IT Ministry to impose layered data consent rules that safeguard personal data processing. This gives users the freedom to decide whether or not they will consent to the usage of their personal data, and they reserve the right to withdraw consent at any point in time. Now, this brings us to the end of the third unit. Thank you for your patience listening.